Okay, we're going to go ahead and try this next one. It looks like it does not give you the x-intercept, but you can see them easy enough from the graph. So this -3 would give me a factor of x plus 3. The next one is a +2. That gives me a factor of x minus 2. The last x-intercept is a 5, which gives me a factor of x minus 5. So that takes care of me finding all my factors. When I check the multiplicity, notice the -3 goes straight through, nothing to worry about there. This one does kind of curve right there at the 2, so that looks like a parabola. So that means that factor needs a square. The factor associated with that value of 2 needs a square to take care of the multiplicity, and this one goes straight through. Now remember, you can check these by counting your x's. So this is 1, 2, 3, since it has a square on it, 4 x's. That means this is a degree 4 polynomial. I would expect it to go in 4 different directions, and this one does. You can tell it goes first down, that's one direction, then up, that's 2, back down is 3, back up is 4, and then definitely the end behavior needs to match. So the end behavior matches on both ends going up. That was what you expect of a degree 4 polynomial. And the leading coefficient, as it goes up on the right, is positive. We'll talk about a way to show you exactly what that is in a minute if we have time. Let's try this last one first, though. On this last problem, I'm going to have first x-intercept is -3. So that gives you a factor of x plus 3. Next intercept is -1, which gives you an x plus 1. And the last one is a +4, which gives you an x minus 4. Once you get that far, the next thing you need to worry about is multiplicity. This one at the -3 does look like an x squared, so that needs a multiplicity of 2. At -1, it goes straight through, nothing to worry about there. This one, you can notice it actually does this little bend thing. That's kind of like a cubic lightning bolt. So that's an x to the third. If it looks like an x to the third there, the factor that gives you that 4 needs a third power. Now, if I count my x's, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. And that means it's a degree 6 polynomial. That means I would expect it to be, since it's even, the ends need to both go in the same direction. And since it's going up on the right-hand side, I know the leading coefficient should be positive. Now, a lot of times they don't give you a y-intercept, or you're just looking for a general solution, and you don't have to worry about the y-intercept. But in this case, they did give you a y-intercept of -100. So let's look at how to figure that out. You can figure out the leading coefficient by taking your y-intercept of -100 and just dividing it by the numbers from those factors. So don't write down the x's. I'll write down 3 squared. I'll write down a 1, which won't change much. And then I'll write down the -4 to the third. Now at this point, I'll need to simplify this to find my leading coefficient. So that's a great time for Desmos. I'll go over to Desmos, and I'll have my -100 divided by 3 squared times 1 times -4 to the third power. And notice it does not matter if it puts that negative in front or on top. I have a positive leading coefficient, which is what we expected from our end behavior going up on the right. And to make that a little prettier, I can click this fraction button to the side, and that gives me 25 over 144. I didn't promise it would be pretty, but it's a little better than it was. So technically, we could put a 25 over 144 in front of this equation to be my y-intercept. So 25 over 144 would be the leading coefficient, and then this whole thing there would be my full answer, considering the y-intercept. We'll try this last one if we have time. Y-intercept here is -2, and then I'm going to compare -2 to 3, and then -2 squared, and also -5. Once again, I'm going to go back to Desmos. So that was 3. Once I have everything typed in correctly, notice I get a positive leading coefficient, which is what I expected from my end behavior. Make that a fraction, that's 1 over 30. So go back over here and just write a 1 over 30 in front, and that will be your full answer. 1 over 30 times x plus 3.